Hello everyone, welcome to the Spooky Noodles Podcast. Today we'll be covering the legend of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. I'm pretty excited to cover Bigfoot as he is one of the most popular cryptids of all time, and with that there is a lot of information to sort through. I'm especially passionate about Sasquatch because he is said to reside near the region of the United States that I live in. But anyways, what's so enthralling about a large ape? Sasquatch is a massive bipedal ape who is known for his elusive nature and massive feet. If you remember our episode on the Yeti, just think of Bigfoot as a woodland version of the Yeti. With it being such a popular cryptid, there are a ton of different descriptions of Bigfoot. Height-wise, the beast is said to range from 6 to 15 feet, which is quite a large range. I like to think he's somewhere around 9 feet, as that feels extraordinarily big, but not unbelievably big. The creature might have been black, brown, or had dark red fur. If we take the Patterson-Gimlin film, which we will be covering soon, as canon, then Bigfoot has black fur. There is debate as to whether Bigfoot appears more human or more ape-like. This may come as a surprise thanks to the name that definitely implies otherwise, but Bigfoot is well known for his massive feet. The largest measurement of a Sasquatch footprint was 24 inches long and 8 inches wide. Sasquatch sightings are most frequently reported in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. They have been seen in all areas of the United States and even in some areas of Canada. However, according to a study from Satellite Internet, the Pacific Northwest has the most sightings. Washington State is the top reporter. The next biggest area is the Midwest of the United States. If we were to cover every notable sighting of Bigfoot, we'd be here for hours. There are likely 10,000 plus claims of Bigfoot sightings. A third of these reports originate from the Pacific Northwest, while the rest come from around the United States. I'll stick with some of the bigger ones for now. Our first story begins in 1924. A group of prospectors were walking through what is now known as Ape Canyon. Upon stumbling into some animals, they were shocked to see that they were 7 feet tall and ready for a fight. The animals were ape-like. They began to throw rocks at the prospectors. One of the beasts got shot and the prospectors ran off after this. Apparently, the ape men returned and assaulted the prospectors' cabin with large stones. After the event, rocks and massive footprints were found outside of the cabin. This story is one of the first to really popularize the idea of Sasquatch. I find it interesting that this account makes it seem as if there are many of them. The next account is by far the most notable. The Patterson-Gimlin film was a recorded Bigfoot encounter that took the world by storm. The film depicts Sasquatch on a walk throughout the wilderness, and it is quite clear for being shot in 1967. While exploring the wilderness of Northern California in order to film a documentary on the creature, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin stumbled into him. The footage caused quite the stir and is likely the biggest cause of Bigfoot's popularity. Our final encounter happened only a few years ago. YouTuber Beard Card was camping out in Provo Canyon when his group spotted a cluster of deer. They went to check it out and accidentally caught footage of a creature that was supposedly Bigfoot. Similar to the number of claimed encounters, there are a ton of things that could explain the phenomenon of Bigfoot. One of the common subgenres of Bigfoot explanations is animal sightings. It is thought that a lot of Bigfoot sightings have just been standing black or brown bears. These bears can range from 5 to 9 feet when standing, so they would cover a good chunk of sightings. Some theorize that sightings of Sasquatch are just sightings of escaped apes or other monkey-like creatures. Apparently, some sightings were also just of human people who somehow managed to look like Bigfoot. The other big explanation is the hoax explanation. With the popularity of Bigfoot, it is a cryptid that has a large amount of manufactured sightings. It is likely that sightings of Bigfoot are either delusion or falsified attempts to prove that he exists. As we've mentioned multiple times already, Bigfoot is likely the most well-known cryptid. This has led to it being a huge part of popular culture. I won't list everything that is named after the beast because, wow, there are a lot of things. This is much to the chagrin of certain Bigfoot believers. Some people claim that this phenomenon is making Bigfoot seem more like a myth than reality. Okay. Bigfoot has been used as a mascot and icon for a few different sports teams, but one has always stood out to me. The former NBA team, Seattle Supersonics, had a mascot named Squatch. Guess what he was? Unfortunately, just like the Supersonics, Bigfoot is currently missing. One of the coolest things about the legend of Bigfoot is its effect on nature. Sasquatch has been used as a character in ads for the U.S. Forest Service that were made to promote environmental awareness. The concept of Bigfoot has also been used as an example of how our treks through nature should impact the environment. Our impact should be so small that we become enigmatic legends like Sasquatch. This was mentioned earlier, but there are groups that exist with the sole goal of finding Bigfoot and proving that he exists. If you enjoyed this analysis, please consider sticking around for more. Next Sunday, we will be covering one of the most well-written creepypastas of all time. Our sources are linked in the show notes. I would heavily encourage you to check out the Wikipedia page for Bigfoot as it is extremely detailed and has a lot of stuff that I didn't mention in this episode. If you've got any suggestions or tips for our future episodes, please contact us at our email spookynoodlespod@gmail.com or at our Twitter @spookynoodles. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. Make sure to keep your taste for horror alive by watching the next episode of Spooky Noodles on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or YouTube. Thank you for listening.